Hello, you're watching Head to Head, and I am Oleg. Today we're discussing the latest scandal between Ukraine and Russia that took media headlines across the country. A great failure of two commissioners for human rights to visit political prisoners after the two presidents, Petro Poroshenko and Vladimir Putin, made an agreement allowing just to do so. So what is going on and where is the stumbling block in this situation? To answer these questions, we welcome to the studio Yulia Synkevych, the general producer at Odessa International Film Festival. Hello, and thank you for being with us today.
Hello.
So, Ms. Synkevych, first of all, what do you think about all of this situation with this detainments of political prisoners in Russia?
Well, I definitely think that this is a humiliation of basic human rights and freedoms, and especially the situation with Oleg Sentsov, who is not a terrorist, who is not a criminal. He was just making films, and he was fighting basically for his rights as a citizen of Ukraine, and he wanted freedom for Ukraine. And what happened to him and what is happening now is absolutely out of any understanding.
Did you know him in person?
I met him a couple of times because he was taking part as a participant of Odessa International Film Festival, once with his first feature film, Gamer. He was a participant of the national competition program, and I remember very well that he was very close to get the main award, but unfortunately it was the special mention. And later on, after a year, he came back with his project, which still is not done because he went to prison, unfortunately, and he pitched his project in front of the international experts, and he got the best pitch award. So the project was very promising, and I hope that he will still have a chance to complete it.
We also hope so. But how could you describe him as an individual, as a personality?
He was very open. He is very open, yeah. I would say. Yes, definitely. And he was really willing to learn. I remember we had a small educational section within Odessa International Film Festival, and he already made his first film, so mostly our directors, they're like, we don't want to learn much, but he was really willing to learn new skills, and he was taking part in this educational program. He was really doing research, what is trending in the cinema. And I also should say that his film was really absolutely fresh, not similar to any other films, not in the same tradition, I should say, for the films of those times. So he was really like standing out, and he was not saying I'm a genius film director. He knew that he needs to learn, he needs more skills, and he needs to practice, but he had lots of ideas, and lots of ideas for new films and books and theater plays, etc. So definitely the talent was there, and I remember hearing this from the jury members and from international professionals and colleagues.
Well, now he's being sentenced in Russia for 20 years in a penal colony, and he went, as we know, he went on a hunger strike, which is lasting already more than 45 days now. It's already 47th. And Ukraine's Commissioner for Human Rights, Lyudmila Denisova, has been trying for 2 weeks to get an access to visit Oleg Sentsov in the Russian penal colony White Bear. And she couldn't. What is your take on that?
I think that I'm not an expert in legal terms, I should say.
You mean the procedures, how to apply all of these requests?
Exactly. Yeah. But from my point of view, I think that, well, every human being has the right to protect his rights, and especially in the case of Oleg Sentsov. It's really sad that he had to go to such measures and to go on hunger strike, even though his case has been going on for 4 years already. So only when he decided that this is the act with which he wants to withdraw attention to his case and for our government or politicians to do something, he had to go on hunger strike. And this is not right. This is not how it should be, because it's out of questions that Oleg is a Ukrainian citizen. He never gave up his citizenship, and he should be back home. And our politicians, they have to do, they must do everything to bring him back.
What is your opinion? How efficient is work of Ukraine's ombudswoman, Lyudmila Denisova?
I think that we don't know a lot, because, of course, lots of things are happening sort of behind the scenes. I cannot say because I don't know the exact action. There are no promises, there are no exact dates or exact plan, I should say. I don't hear that. I'm not criticizing because, again, I think it's a very, very complicated situation, and for politicians it's also definitely not easy to do certain steps with the country with which we are having a war. So I cannot really judge. I hope they will do the best they can.
Well, the situation is very bizarre because two presidents, they came to the agreement that the commissioners for human rights could visit the political prisoners in Russia or in Ukraine, and Russian counterpart Tatiana Moskalkova wanted to visit 34 prisoners across Ukraine, including Maxim Odensov, who is being the Crimean defector, and Kirill Vyshinsky, who used to be the head of RIA Ukraine news agency, and he is being accused of state treason in Ukraine. So basically, Ukraine's Commissioner for Human Rights went to Russia first, but then she was denied with all the access to visit Ukrainian political prisoners. So then she stated that Moskalkova wouldn't get any access also if she is not being permitted to visit Oleg Sentsov at least. So then Moskalkova, who was banned to enter Ukraine before, but that ban was lifted just because of this trip, she came to Ukraine and left with nothing. And basically, Moskalkova managed to visit Sentsov, and she stated that Sentsov is in a good health. He is even, as she said, he's even working on the scripts. How do you believe this?
I don't believe Russian politicians, I should say, at all. I know that Oleg, he can't be in a good state for a fact. I don't think so.
After more than 45 days of the hunger strike,
absolutely. I know that he's from time to time in touch with his family and with people and with his cousin who are supporting him and fighting for him. So, but this is absolutely out of any... not even saying diplomatic etiquette, but I think that last year's proved us that Russia is basically not respecting not our rights, not our freedom, not our democracy, nothing.
While it's the gross violation of human rights and just moral values also. And Denisova does not believe Moskalkova either. She said that she must personally meet with the Ukrainian prisoner to make sure about his health condition. And another thing, that Russian Commissioner for Human Rights also criticized Denisova for what she called arriving without an invitation. What do you think about this? Does the Commissioner for Human Rights has to have some special kind of invitation?
That's what I was going to say, that I don't think that she needs one. That's definitely, she has all the rights to have the access to the citizens of Ukraine.
I know you were participating in the rallies supporting Oleg Sentsov. Could you tell us about those kind of actions, and do you keep on going? Do you keep on doing that?
Well, there have been very many actions, solidarity acts within the past 4 years, and I think there should be more, and as long as Oleg is there, and hopefully he will be back soon. There were initiatives screening his films. Then there was a screening of the film at Berlinale 2 years ago, which is called Process, and that was the special event organized by European Film Academy, inviting also international guests and presenting the film and attracting a lot of attention of the press and media. Recently in Kiev there were solidarity acts at Maidan, reading Oleg's short novels. I was there as well, as many Ukrainian filmmakers, musicians and people who are like opinion leaders and so on. Unfortunately, there were not that many people, and I really want more people to support Oleg and to do something and not to be silent. We at Odessa Film Festival decided that we will do a special project. It's already on our website where we just placed all the information we could find in chronological order, because it's quite often the case, especially from our international colleagues, that they want to read everything at one place, like where to find out the information, like what happened, what are the actual actions from Ukrainian side, where is Oleg at the moment, what is the current state. So we launched this project. It's available there just to support and not to be silent again, just to talk about it.
So then you mean that Ukrainian artists, they all got united in the efforts to help somehow to free Oleg Sentsov?
Absolutely, absolutely.
How would you evaluate the Ukraine's behavior in this situation? Would you expect some more steps, or do you think that this is enough, that this is actually what we can do?
Definitely, I would ask for more steps, and I think I just heard from Oleg's cousin like a week ago that only after almost 4 years, she finally got a contact of who is in charge of Oleg's case from Ukrainian side, which is nonsense, and it shouldn't be so, because the case is known and it has its resonance all over the world. And
she is the relative. I mean,
she has the right to know. And she is a relative, definitely. So it was either the issue of appointing the actual committee or working group, or was there another issue? I don't know. But it only happened just recently. So I think there should be more steps done, for sure.
What practical steps could take place?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew how to stop the war, and I wish I knew how to do it. But definitely there should be
just some more efforts. You mean
more efforts, and definitely his name should be everywhere and said by all the politicians when they are in negotiations or talks with the other side.
If Oleg Sentsov could watch us, what would you like to wish him?
Well, I still plan, and I want to write him a letter, because I just want him to be back. And I know that his birthday is usually one day or the day of the opening of the festival, so I just want him to be back and to celebrate his birthday among his friends and colleagues and filmmakers, and to finish his film and to make many more films. And for now, of course, I want him to be strong and know that everybody supports him, and he's not forgotten, and all the support is there.
We are joining your sincere words, and thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you.
That was Synkevych, the producer at Odessa International Film Festival. Thank you for watching Head to Head. I'm Oleg. Goodbye.